Okay, got it. Over here. Okay, again, welcome back to um, Junior's Corner, Kids Corner. Kids is actually a baby goat. That's why I was requested that I change the name. Um, so here we are. Last week we had a few questions put across, a few requests, and the better you know about why we are actually going through the process that we are going through, the better you will be able to maneuver and navigate once it starts. So the first question to you was to look up NESARA. Basically, all you had to do is put it into the Google, read it, and then come up with your analogy or your thoughts of what NESARA is. Second one was financial freedom. I need your words only, not book definition. Book definitions are okay to read it to see what's being discussed or talked about, but what I'm looking for from all of you is what you gather from these words, because that lets me know where you are as far as understanding, comprehension, and putting it to work. And the last one was BRICS, which is a financial system that is now starting to nudge in light of better words. I don't want to say too much because I would be giving the information or the answers, but it is a financial system that I needed you to look at and give me your thoughts on what you think it is. So let's start with NESARA.
Hey, Mr. Lewis, could I
Yes,
go first?
absolutely.
Could I do all three of them at the same time?
Mhm.
Okay. First, um, Nasara is my understanding of Nasara is it like it's like a big plan for fixing the economy and helping people get rid of debt. Basically, that's what Nasara is. And BRICS is a group of powerful countries that work together on money and certain stuff like that. And my understanding of financial freedom is when you have enough money to do whatever you want without worrying about running out. And having and to have financial freedom, you have to have a good understanding of money and how to use money properly.
Absolutely.
May I go next?
Yes, please.
Okay. My definition for Nasara is kind of long. So,
The floor is
okay.
yours.
Nasara is a conspiracy theory in reference to the National Economic Security Recovery Act. The act is a proposal that will abolish interest on loans and replace income tax with a national tax while returning U.S. currency to gold. The theory is that it was proposed in front of Congress but secretly passed by them and suppressed by George W. Bush after 9/11. The theory is also that all debt will be wiped out as a reset in the U.S. economy. And also BRICS, it's a currency and it stemmed from America dominating every nation like a tyrant king, abusing their power, and the other nations decided it was enough and wanted to assert their own economic independence. And financial freedom to me is being able to pay for your lifestyle and still have excess amount of money left at the end of the month. Like if I have $3,000 and my lifestyle is $1,000, I still have $2,000 left over. Okay, I'll finish.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, can I go next?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first, NISARA, it is a National Economic Security and Recovery Art, and it is helping you remove all of your debt. And BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America coming together as a what's it called alliance, and then they're combining all their money together, to make one chain of money. So like how Brazil dollars makes 20 cents and stuff like that. And finally, financial freedom. What financial freedom means to me is just having full control over all your money.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, can I go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With this definition, is it okay if I give my personal opinion on Nasara after I give my definition?
Yes, the floor is yours. Teach us.
All right. So Nasara is the National Economic Security and Reformation Act that was specifically designed to zero out all credit cards, mortgages, and other types of bank debt. It was also meant to abolish income taxing, and it is meant to create a new US currency backed by gold and silver or any other precious metal. Some have called it the financial fantasy ruining lives, as I've heard watching a couple videos. Um, I can't wholeheartedly say that I disagree with people thinking that it's a fantasy, but I personally believe that I only disagree with that because my mind has been conditioned to believe certain things when it comes to, how things are in this country. However, I do believe that because of where the US dollar is positioned, that there are certain things in the financial realm that we will finally be exposed to, and the financial literacy of this country will go down the drain. So that's my thing on that. So I'm 50-50 with um where Nasara comes in place. And then my definition of financial freedom is to be financially free is to no longer be limited by the shackles of worry when it comes to the cost of things. It's the ability to make choices based on your desires and how you want to live. And then my definition for BRICS is the new currency outside of the US. It's a brand new financial system allowing each country to say how much their currency is worth. It's an intergovernmental organization founded by Brazil, Russia, India, and China that they say was designed to promote peace, security, and development. But I don't really believe that it was designed to promote peace. If its currency were to stabilize against the dollar, the sanctions of the US would weaken, therefore diminishing the value of the dollar in our nation. And I'm all finished.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you. Great job. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Hi, Mr. Lewis.
Hello.
Initially, when we were given the topic on BRICS, I thought of the BRICS trucks originally, the movement of monies. But then once I researched more, I realized that it was more of a blockchain exchange between different countries.
Mhm.
And I thought it was pretty interesting that they gave it similar names. And I do remember in a earlier call, like way prior, we discussed financial freedom. And what I got from that was not having to rely on an everyday job because you are supported by your own background funds. And by background, I mean like to fall back on.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, let's move on. Like I said, there's a lot. First thing I want to say to all of you, excellent work. And thank you for having the courage to, one, research what I'm requesting of you. Two, please know that everything that I'm sharing with you is for your benefit in the very near future. Now, MJ hit on something that meant everything to the word financial freedom. And that is you control it, period, outright. It's yours. You decide where it is, how much is there, and when you need to use it, thus having full control. So all of your answers were perfect and dead on, and I thank you so much. It really means a lot to me to hear from you. You're such bright individuals, even those that didn't get a chance to speak, or maybe whatever reason. I know you did something. It's all for your benefit. It is all for our benefit as senior citizens, because we need you guys to know how to handle funds in case we need you. And 9 times out of 10, your parents are going to need you on the other end. Okay? When they become the needy and you become the provider. And trust me, it's going to happen. Life happens. So the better way for this to happen is for you to have the foundation now. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and all the input from all the other adults on here. Just their energy being here to support your knowledge, your receiving of this energy is very powerful. And you'll thank me later on when you're older and you come into a situation where you might have to put a transmission in a car, and you'll be able to go to transmission or auto account because you have an auto account to handle stuff like that, and put a transmission in the car and never even think twice. If you follow what is being laid down here for you, trust me, it will be just like that. Life is full of surprises, just like myself. Never thought that I would have an issue with vision, but it came up and I had to do something about it. Things will come up and you will have to do something about it. So, what has come up recently? And I'm going to hit these words because they mean everything about this call. That's why I said it's going to be a little bit of a longer call today. What's coming, what's happening as we speak at this very moment? Everything is changing, not only with finances, but countries, countries' positions as far as a unit on this planet. NESARA was an agreement not only to eliminate debt, but also to eliminate nefarious people, practices, laws, controls over the people. So there's going to be a little bit of a history thing here. And no, I am not a professor. No, I don't know everything on the planet, but I am blessed and highly favored for information. What I share comes from the Creator. Now, people will hear that and people won't. That's up to them. So, all of this information that I give on these calls is for educational purposes. It is for broadening your perception of words, because certain words are said and not really understood or comprehended. there are certain situations that you're going to find yourself in the very near future, especially the two young ladies, or one that's already in college, Jaden, and one that's going, Kayla. You're going to find yourself in a situation where finances are pretty much an everyday conversation on top of trying to learn the course that you have chosen to do. So, and everybody else, you're not, just because you're not going to college at this moment, all the way down to MJ. Finances guide your life. So it's best to be fluent in finances and understanding how they work, what you're supposed to do with them. And what I'm sharing with you is all the mistakes that I made. I don't want you to make those same mistakes. I would prefer you have your head on straight, eyes guided forward, not blinded, but forward. When I say forward, you could see all the way from your peripheral vision. Okay? That means you're seeing everything and everybody. When you're blinded, I got to go get a job. I work for my job 8 hours. I come home. I go back to work. That's blinded. That's 90% of the adults on this call. They got in the blinders. Didn't learn financials. Didn't learn what it means to have freedom. We got the blinders on because that's what you're taught to do. I'm breaking that for you and anyone else that may watch these videos. Young people. So we take off the blinders right now. Take them off right now. Now, like I said, as you grow through school and into college, you're going to be pointed to go certain directions. But when you go these directions, don't go like this. You're going to go like this, wide open, eyes wide open. So NESARA was an agreement to eliminate government, governing people, controlling a mass amount of people, one person. It's impossible, number one. Some people would call that unpatriotic, but I don't believe in a president. I just don't. By facts, not by political guidance, but I'm going to say something and I want you to really think about it and you'll see why I say what I say. If you have one individual, let's say that this bottle is the president, and that bottle stays in DC, right? Okay, he goes to the White House and he lives there, he does all this stuff there. Meanwhile, somebody in Washington State has a situation in their neighborhood. Someone, we're going to use light stuff, not negative stuff. We're going to say that someone is going around breaking the windshields out of all the cars in that neighborhood during a rainstorm. So now your car is destroyed because the rain went into the car and shorted it all out. Okay, 50, 60, 70 cars, right? Call the police and just all that. The guy or person moves to the next neighborhood, breaks all the windshields. Same thing. Now, I ask you one simple question. Did he know anything about those windshields and those 75 cars that got destroyed? No. One more point so you can see where I'm going with this. Somewhere down in, I don't know, let's say, I can't use Texas because that's wide open. Everybody is seeing what he is allowing to happen. It's crazy. I'll just use my neighborhood. Let's say an individual is going around, I don't know, just breaking in the houses, not stealing anything, just breaking the doors in, kicking them in, boom, setting off alarms. They take off running. Crime sprees, just going around kicking doors in. They do this for 2 weeks. Everybody's door got to get fixed, calling people, this, that, and the other, causing a situation. Him sitting over there, did he know anything about the doors? Did he do anything about the cars or the doors replacement? Did he even know what happened? Absolutely not. So I ask you, can one man govern a whole country of people and know exactly what's going on at every location every day? Think about that for a second. And you'll see how stupid it is. One man cannot see what's happening throughout the entire country. So how do you control it? How do you govern it? How do you say you're the president of it when you have no idea what's going on there? It's impossible. It's a failed system from start. It's a control aspect, period. Think about that for a minute. Jeremiah?
Yes, sir. So, I can I add on to that? So, with like the president running our country and stuff, there's no what's the word for it? There's no it's like you can't study to be a president. You can't study to run a country. There's no jobs that help you run a country. It's like when you're studying to become a teacher, you shadow, you do all these things, you go to schools, but when becoming a president, there's no way on you can properly run a country because some people run the country like a business, some people run the country like a monopoly. And so that's why I also agree with you about the president. I don't really believe that we should have a president. Also, I feel like we should have more like people in each state that come together in all the problems and they all address it instead of having one man have one face when that one man can't he doesn't know how to run things properly or speak properly to other people. And the president doesn't even have power really in our country. It's more the Supreme Courts, the Congress. So it's stuff like that. And the president is just a face. So when things go bad, we could just blame it on them and not blame it on the people who are actually running the country.
Mm-hmm.
So
Perfect. Awesome job. Thank you. And like I say, critical thought and being able to think is very important for all of you. This is something that a lot of adults didn't get a chance to really filter into because no one said, hey, let's think about all things instead of go get the job, go to work 8 hours, overtime, come back home, go back to work. Okay, there was no critical thought given. There was no, there's got to be a better way. So NESARA is going to put an end to that foolishness once and for all, because it is supposed to be governed by the governors of a state. And even he cannot reach every corner of his own state. That's where the mayors come in. See, all of these titles that have been put out and laid out are supposed to have a specific input to the community. But all they are and all they have ever been is a money siphon. These people could care less what's happening at these houses or those cars, these governors, these mayors. It's all about how much of your money can I stick in my pocket? Well, NESARA is going to take all that out. And it's going to put the power and the understanding back to the people. For the people, by the people. You ever heard of that? So with that statement, NESARA is going to include everybody on looking around in the neighborhoods and see what's going on, report it, have people adjust it, make sure that everything is taken care of the proper way. Stop all the separation. Oh, he's black, he's white. I can't stand him. Don't even know why. Racism is part of that mix. Hierarchy. A mayor, a governor, and all these people in high places that get all the money from us to do what they want, could care less about what's happening to you. So that whole system is going to be gutted, reestablished properly by the people and for the people. You will have input. This is why I need you sharp financially so that you can move in better movements and not have to worry about this. I don't want any of you in this frame of mind. Because if you're in this one track frame of mind, like we have all been, all of the adults on this call, and I'm sure there's some wide open eyes here. I wasn't one of them. And I'm quick to raise my hand. I was definitely one of these people. Go to work, work, come home, go to work. Didn't do anything else until I went to the military. So from age 15 to 21, I was like this. When I got into the military, eyes got opened. I got to see different countries, different people, different styles of living, different understandings of monies, currencies. I got a chance to see how people are dealt with that break the law in different countries. Guess what is not existent in Al Jubail, Iraq? There's no such thing as a jail. No such thing. There's no such thing as a concentration camp or anywhere that people are put because they have broken the law. Do you know why there's no jails there? Because breaking the law, the result of that is death. You are put to death. Steal something, they will chop off your hand and your foot. One hand, 1 foot, if you take something that doesn't belong to you. If you touch a woman, just touch, 1 finger, touch, you lose your genitalia. Cut it right off. And burn it closed with a rock. No stitches in hospital like we do over here, none of that. They take a hot rock and stick it to you to close it. So do they break the law over there? No. Hold on 1 second, MJ. So knowing these things and understanding how other countries work, my eyes were opened. I got a chance to see how things play out in different countries. It's nothing like here. Nothing like here. So Nasara is the beginning of the removal of all the foolishness that they do in this country. That's why Nasara was brought up, because of this country and its practices. Going all over the world telling other people how to live. What money you're supposed to have. Have our money so we could do business with you. Get rid of your money. That's what BRICS is tearing apart. BRICS said, nope, that's over. We have our own money and we're going to use our own money. We're going to back our money with the resources in our country. Then one said, hey, tell America to keep their own money. You have money in your country. Back it with your resources. Join us. And that's where BRICS came from. Week by week, another country is joining BRICS and have been doing so for almost a year. There's 207 countries that are already accepted to BRICS. And those 200 countries are sending all US dollar back to America. Here, keep your own money. We have our own money. You want to do business with us? Use our money. So that means America has to get with it. You no longer control everybody. You no longer have your money in everybody else's pocket. So you could tell them what to do when you want to. You have no more control. And on top of that, we're going to invade your country, which is happening right now. This individual over there is allowing the invasion of this country. Say what you want, but I'm watching. And you have to understand what's going on. In order to destroy a country, you have to basically destroy it from the inside out. How do you do that? Send the people in. Well, how do you do that? There's borders, there's control. You know, you can't just walk into the country. Yes, you can. We have a guy on the inside. He's going to allow it. What has happened? For better than 2 years, the border has been wide open for anybody to come in. So I want you to understand you are not safe. And no, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm telling you the truth. You have to understand where we are. You have to be aware of what's going on. So this is not just about money, although that's the guide of this call, but I also have to wake you up. There are people in this country now that he has allowed in that want us dead. You, if you get on an airplane and pick any country in the world, get on the airplane and say, I'm going over there to their country. You get off the airplane, go up to the gate, and they ask you for two things: ID and a passport. If you don't present either one, guess what they say? Get back on the airplane and go back where you came from. You're not welcome. When you get documentation, come back and see us. And you only have a specific amount of time to be in our country. Your passport says that you could stay for 7, 14 days, whatever. The passport decides how long you stay in our country. Here, oh, just walk in. That guy said you can walk in. No checks. You don't know who they are, what they're going to do, what their intent is, why they're even coming to this country. That's obvious. And no one's saying a thing. And that's been going on for 2 years. 11 million people are walking around in this country that didn't even get checked. 11 million. So financial freedom, like MJ said, it is the ability to control your own finances, period. It stops right there. When you control your own finances, then you make the rules, you make the decisions, you choose what, how, and where you live. When you do this, you allow them to decide. You allow your employer to decide where you work, what kind of car you'll drive, how you eat. If you only make $1,000 a week, your rent is $750, your car note is $200, what are you going to do with the rest? And how do you pay the rest of your needs? Out of $125? So you're caught in a specific mindset for however many years they feel that you are going to stay there. If you leave these blinders on and just work for one person or two people, whatever, then you are controlled. Then this class has failed you. My thoughts and my ideas for you to have a better life have failed. But if you take these off right now, Still go to college, still do your job, go get a job, and you have to have experience working. But work like this, not like this. Work with the blinders off. Okay? So it's important that you follow through with this ideas, this training, this thought, this class, this community that we have created of, I think right now is 11 of you total. Use it for your benefit. Okay? Don't allow yourself to be caught in that blinders mindset. MJ, you had a question. Go right ahead.
Yes, I do have a question. You already skipped past this subject or topic, but I'm gonna have to jump back to it real quick.
Mhm.
So, do you think one state should have a president and a governor?
My understanding.
Oh, wait, sorry,
Yeah,
not one state, but every state.
every
Sorry.
state. I got what you're saying. My understanding and my idea may differ from everyone else, but I think there should be no titles. Because of that title, people get entitlement, means, well, I'm the governor, so I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to do what I say, and because I'm the governor, and I should make thousands of dollars a week, where you make 300. No, I don't believe there should be titles. I don't believe there should be any one person governing a whole state. Because the same thing would happen in a state. If he lives in the upper part of the state, in the lower part of the state, there's somebody doing foolishness. Will he know about it? Not till 2 to 3 days later. My idea, there should be a full governing of everyone, equal ability by everyone in that state, meaning that a state becomes a community. Everybody is connected to everybody, just like right now. We all are on here. Everybody in that state at any particular time, let's say every Wednesday, there's a huge conference call where everybody in the state, okay, so let's say that one person or two people out of this community get on that call and we have a conversation. We're having this issue, the roads over here, this, that. Can we get somebody to look at that? Okay, heard. And everyone has an input on the entire state. Now, if there is an individual put in front, but not control, there's a difference. There's a front person that says, okay, send the trucks down to fix the streets over there on Y Street. Okay, he's a coordinator, not a controller, a coordinator. And everybody makes the same money. See, because money is where this all lies. Everybody has to make the same amount of money. That way there's no, oh, I feel that I'm more powerful than you. That's my thought. Community. The word community means everybody, not one or two people. So I don't believe that this is just my opinion. I don't believe there should be one or two people in control of a state. I think everyone, it's a community. That's what it's called. It should be a community effort. Because if someone is reporting from each section of that state, then more knowledge is known about that state by the person who is facilitating that state. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does make sense.
Just my thought. All right, so the last part I want to touch on, well, not the last part because there's actually one more, but this part is the part that I need you to really pay attention. I requested addresses from you. I have most, if not all of you. There's a few missing, and there's a few that I will facilitate that you have a wallet. So don't worry. I know who you are, and you will receive a wallet. Now, the whole idea of this wallet and you having one and what is going to go on with these wallets, and the reason why I requested this information is because you're going to get hydrated, which means you're going to have a particular crypto put on your wallet. I haven't decided which one yet because they keep changing. Every week that I go to put it on there, this is happening, that's happening. So what I plan to do with that is pick one and just hope that it's okay. So what I'm going to do, instead of putting the full amount that I chose to put on there, I'm going to put a small amount just to show that you have a live hydrated wallet. And then once we get to the point where we can pick either a crypto or a digital currency, because that's coming. That's why I'm kind of holding off, because a digital currency is actually coming within, I would say, a week or two. And then that's where the bulk of it will go, in the digital currency. Digital currency is different than cryptocurrency. So I want to touch on that today. That's the next part. But I want to make sure that everyone is understanding what this whole wallet address request was about. Each wallet request that I asked for a picture, a selfie, so I know whose wallet is who. Because again, I could type a name, but a picture does it. I work with pictures. I'm a photographer. You know, that was my first love. I should have stuck with it. Still can, but I like pictures, and that's what I work with. That's why I request pictures. So with these wallets, and I just want to go over this real quick so that you understand what it is and why it is. These wallets are going to be your key to the first steps of your financial freedom. All right. Financial freedom, again, like I said, is when you control it. The next step in this venture is a bank. Okay. Now you can actually purchase the bank. You don't have to have no specific ID or anything like that. MJ could go out and buy a bank, okay, and set it up just like I did on here on the adult crypto class, which I'm going to do another version, step by step, slow. So it should be easy for everyone to set up one of these banks, okay? You're going to take, after we do a class on it, whatever we get into your wallet, okay, and then you're going to move it to your bank, okay? We're going to do that a couple times, and then we're going to take an amount and move it from the bank back to the wallet. And we're going to do that a couple times until you get used to it. Now, some of you, I understand it is a custodial thing. Your mom has it, your dad has it, your aunt, your auntie, whatever. Whoever that adult is going to be sitting right next to you and whatever, and go through these steps, okay? You may have to do it for them, because you know how it is. Us adults, we didn't get into the technology age until now. And some of us are 50 plus. So we're not used to these things. And that's okay. If you learn how to ride a bicycle, then you can learn how to use a wallet in a bank. So once you have moved it twice or 3 times to the bank, and then once or twice back to the wallet, you are then set. Please listen to me. At that point, you are set to control your finances, period. Which makes you financially free. As the months and years go by, this community right here that you're part of, is going to grow, because you're going to bring friends. Your friends are going to see you really on point with everything that you're doing. And they're going to try to figure out, well, how did you afford this? How did you do this or that? Bring them to the call, send them to the YouTube, get them start learning. It's going to grow. And guess what? You guys are going to be teaching it. So I implore you to gather as much information from me as you can. And I say that because in the very near future, I'm going to have to get offline for a little while. Could be 3 months, could be 4 months, I'm not sure. And I'm talking about an NDA. Once I go in that NDA, I will be offline. I will not be anywhere. I won't be able, you can't call me, nothing. I have to be silent until the paperwork that guides that non-disclosure agreement, NDA, says. If it says 90 days, I will not pick up a phone. I will not turn on a computer for 90 days. I'm going to disappear. And 90 days is a long time. Do not stop reaching for the information that I'm giving you. When that happens, when that NDA happens, and I'll send an email out, your parents will know. When that happens, every Saturday for those 3 months, it's a bunch of them in there, do some type of studying on financials. Do some movements from your wallet to your bank, from your bank to your wallet. And then you're also going to be getting or using a crypto debit card. Okay, a crypto debit card works with cryptocurrency. And once you have a wallet that is hydrated, a bank that is hydrated, and a crypto debit card, you will then be able to go shop with cryptocurrencies, depending on what's available at the time. If it's the QFS, the quantum coin, which I believe is going to come the same time as all the money changes, then you'll be using the quantum coin on your debit card, your crypto debit card. You go shop and spend as you please. But you'll be doing it with technology, either the phone, because cards can be on the phone, your wallets are on the phone. The bank, all it does is what a bank does now, hold. It's going to hold excess. And trust me when I tell you, you're going to have excess, a lot of it. Why do I say that? Simply because a promise delivered is designed to do so. That's what it's going to do. It's going to make sure you have what you need to have. You are going to be a participant of a promise delivered and Team Royal. So those two things are going to make sure you have what you need to have. And yes, it will be digital. So you need to know how to use these items. And don't think for a second that you're not the same as the adults. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do a class for them to start using these things. That's the next class. So let's get some words for next week. All right. First word, community. Second word or statement. How do I provide service for my community? How?
Mr. Lewis, sorry to interrupt you, but what was the first one?
Community.
Immunity?
Community.
Immunity.
Community, like the community, your neighborhood.
Community with a C.
Community, yes.
And what was the second one?
How do I provide service for my community? And the last one, okay, the last one is going to be a little bit different. And financial goals is really what I want to use. So let's put financial goals at age 21. I know some of you are close to it. Still put it. Financial goals for when you're 21. Don't say anything now. Think about it. Your financial goals when you become 21. And like I said, some of you are close to it now. Just put it anyway. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on is a major one. And the reason why I say major is because you won't know the box of chocolates that you're going to get. But one of those box of chocolates is health. I know, ironic word to use, but I just went through something that I didn't have to, had I been paying attention to my health. And this is a public announcement or notice for all of you. I don't know your eating habits. My tongue is very sweet, so a lot of you are eating sweet, and I know it. That's one of the gifts that the Creator gave me. Get control of your intake, whatever it is that you're eating. I would highly recommend learning how to grow things and eat fresh things that you grew. Even if it's just a cucumber, start with something. Because the last thing you want is when you get my age, 50 plus, and stuff start breaking. Stuff starts failing because of a poor diet. Now, the good part to this statement or this part of the call is that things are going to evolve. Remember that word. I'm telling you, I'm going to use it as long as we are doing these classes because evolution is part of how we live. Things are going to evolve from a dirty food to a clean food. A dirty food is a food that destroys the inside of your body. Now, this is a whole nother concept. This is a whole nother training that I'm going to bring you in on later on, but it's called the health call. And the health call covers everything health. And I need you guys to stop eating the sweets because it's destroying your body. Sugar, I'm just going to give you some understanding here. Processed white sugar is poisonous to the body. Yes, it tastes good. Yes, it makes everything sweet. Yes, it does this and that. It's in cookies, candies, and all that. But what they didn't tell you is that the body cannot process sugar. It cannot. White processed sugar is poisonous to the human body. I didn't know that. Now you do. So I expect all of you to do something about it. Read the back of packages. The back of packages has the description of the ingredients within it. If you see any of the sugars, and you can look up online names of sugar, cellulose, allulose, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. Well, allulose is not. Allulose is what I have to use because I'm, a product of processed white sugar, diabetes. I just had to get a shot, a needle in my eye because of the side effects of diabetes. There's other people that have hypertension, high blood pressure. There's all sorts of disorders because of poor diet. Get control of your diet immediately. Immediately. Now, again, things are going to change because of what's coming. And it's like, just think of Star Trek. Think of Star Trek. There should be no more illness. There should be no more disease. if it's done right, and that's part of NESARA too. If it's done right, then the health will come back to the people. All the poisonous toxins that they use to spray on foods will no longer be done. That's going to be another call. I'm just preparing you early. Start reading your labels. Do not consume any type of sugar. Get your taste buds in your mouth and your mindset away from it, because it is destructive and not supposed to eat sweet things. That sounds crazy, but if you give a baby, and I'll show you what I mean, ground up peas or ground up carrots with no seasoning, no salt, no pepper, none of the stuff that we put on food. You get it out of the jar, put the spoon in the mouth, boom, they eat it. No problem. So you don't have to have all that stuff that goes on food. Be very picky. Don't become a nerd about it, but you want to be aware of what you are consuming early to stop the things like diabetes, hypertension, cancer. And sugar creates cancer, just so you know. You don't want an acidic body or acidic blood. Again, other conversations that are coming. Thank you so much. Any questions? Any questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question if I can, please.
Mhm.
I want to go back to when you were talking about being in that other country and the way they punish. Do you
Mhm.
think that should be implemented over here?
Yes.
So you take something that don't belong to you, like a candy out of a store, your finger gone. Okay.
Yeah, we won't.
That's right.
But
We won't be.
I guess I would have, I thank God for his grace then, because I would have lost all my fingers at 18.
I agree. Again, this is because of how this country treats
Yeah,
bad behavior.
yeah.
We have jails.
Mhm.
Okay, so a jail is designed, it's not to get that man or woman off of the street so they're not doing things. It's about money.
Money, yeah, for them to make money. That's why they build them. Absolutely.
Now watch this. Each inmate is worth $150,000 to that state
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
per year. So why do you think when the judge says, well, I'm going to give you 15 years in jail for whatever it was, we're going to give you 15 years. That's $150,000 times 15.
Yeah.
That's what that inmate is now worth to that state. It has nothing to do with correcting what he did or she did.
Right. Right.
Because it's worse in there than it is out here. Believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to keep that individual alive long enough so they can get that money. That's why you see these long sentences.
Yeah.
For little stuff.
Little stuff. And that's just for us too. It's not for them. But so let's go a step further. Do you think they build the fancy cancer buildings and centers because they're hoping for patients?
Wait a minute, what's the question again?
Cancer centers, just like they build the jails.
Well, there are so many that, and I'm going to say this, and there's no disrespect for your choices. Everyone has the ability to choose. There are so many people that have taken the shot that are now ill and will get worse, that they have to put these centers up. These centers are now going to leech off of the person and the insurance company that they're connected to. Because of the shot, they have to go to this center.
Yeah. Okay.
About money.
Same page. Okay.
And yes, I believe in capital punishment. I guarantee you, if you are, it has to be without a shadow of a doubt. You have to have proof. Like I've seen on some of these, videos, if you watch YouTube, which I do, there's videos of cops, like cop chasing this, that, and the other. And on there, you see people run over people. There was an individual that went through the parade. Now, everybody on the planet seen him driving the vehicle, run over those people, and killed 11 of them. He should be eliminated on site. Not there in the streets, but once you get him in the jail, you take him out to the back, stand him on the wall, and shoot it. Because at that point, it's an it. It's not a human. But they quickly, oh, well, he was on PCP, or he was on this, or he was on that. Because of you. You allowed this substance in this country so that they could use it and do stuff like this. That's not an excuse. People died because of his actions. Eliminated. Period. That's the way I think. Any other questions? Eliminated. Because I assure you, do that in Iraq. Do that in Al Jubail. You can't even speed over there. If you speed, they will take your car away from you. And if they catch you in a car, they will eliminate you. Because you're not following the rules. The rules say no driving ever for you. You get caught in a car, they'll kill you right there on the spot. They will shoot the car up.
Montavo, this is Jefferson.
Hold on one second. Whoever's car it belonged to, they also catch it. They won't get killed, but they will lose either a foot or a hand. Go ahead, Jefferson.
Yeah, after Nassar is announced, there will be no need for anybody to take anything from anyone because everybody will have a plenty.
Correct.
And that's what they have been doing. They have been holding back, keeping people in poverty for many years. And that will make people steal or go out and become a drug dealer. They don't have to do these things, but that's where the easy money was at. So that's what they did. But after Nassar is announced, there would be no need for that.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
But do you gentlemen agree that even if there's no need for it, it will still happen because it's just in certain people? Millionaires.
Well, yeah, I agree. And like I said, I believe in capital punishment. Now, if everyone is hydrated, which means everyone has money, and there's no need for that, and you still do it, get rid of it. It's no longer a person. It's no longer a human.
Yeah. Okay.
They're always going to go against what we're saying or what we have all agreed upon.
Yeah. Get
rid of it. And that, not just the common criminal, I'm talking all the way up. And there shouldn't be hierarchy at that point, but there is going to be some form of somebody above somebody. But when they break the law, they should be eliminated as well. Because once it's gone, it can't influence that behavior any further.
No one should be above the law.
Right. Absolutely. And others will see that if you do that, you could wind up in a box.
Yes.
But so I have to ask, when you say it, are you referring to the demon in that person?
That person is an it.
Okay. All right.
That's just the way I look at it. Because if your mindset says do wrong, do wrong, do wrong, do right, do wrong, do wrong, you're not going to do right.
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
What is your purpose? To create stress? Bye-bye.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
No more stress.
I agree.
I mean, it's savage, but I guarantee you, and I have seen some tribes in Africa. When we went to Africa, we went into the bush just to see them. They don't play. They do not play. I mean, when I tell you, you do something wrong, the whole entire community will come with a stick, a 3-4 foot stick, and go across your hind parts as hard as they can. Could you imagine 30 people taking a swat at your cheeks with a stick yay long? Would you do that offense again? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm talking, they hit till you're bleeding. So there's different ways of governing. I don't like using these words because then if someone is above someone else and you get that whole hierarchy stuff, there's deterring you from doing stuff. But again, anyone that does the type of violence that they're doing here in this country on a daily basis, hourly,
Yeah.
they need to be eliminated, period. They're not going to do right.
My question would be, where, with all the jails, all the prison, where do you start at? I mean, I can't think of how many million of people in jail at this moment. Where do you start?
You start at A and work your way to Z. That's the easiest way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
This
that's a
country's in
touchy.
trouble.
Yeah, that's a touchy conversation, and
Yes,
I'm
yes,
only
yes.
using it on here is because I want my babies to stay straight all their life and don't put up with any foolishness. You know, hopefully things change for all of us and all of you. But I'm counting on all of you to be a reason some of us get taken care of. You know, when we get older and can't take care of ourselves. I just watched my aunt. I just watched my aunt have to go through this. That's where my sister is right now, seeing that she's taken care of. You see what I'm saying? Her baby, well, the child to her is my sister. So now, when the time changed and my aunt is no longer able to be in a home by herself, she had to go to the next step, which is assisted living, which means you're in a community or a house with other elderly people. Now, watch. Because my sister was available and mindset with no blinders and all this good stuff, the reason why I talk about the stuff that I'm telling you is because this experience is coming from my own family. I collect all of you as my family. So she was able to go up there in Pennsylvania and see to my aunt transitioning from her house to this home with other people. She didn't like it. You know, somebody who's been living by themselves for 72 years is now in a house with other people. That takes some getting used to. Just like when Jaden went off to college. She was at home, you know, all the way up until it was time to go to college. Now she's in college around other people, around other circumstances. That is called a transition. Just like MJ is going to go from grade school to junior high to high school. These are transitions. And if there's somebody, and this is what I'm getting up for you guys, if there's somebody there that doesn't have on the blinders and is available and loving enough to take care of somebody to make sure that they're good, then that transition is a good one. So now today, my aunt is good. She's talking to the other people there. She's participating in the activities that they have for them. It's a beautiful place, but it's not her house. For the first month, when am I going home? Why am I here? Who are these people? Those were the questions. That's the transition. Second month, well, who's going to take care of my house? Who's going to do this? Who's taking out the garbage? Still attached, but starting to, you know, not ask as many questions. Third month, I'm going to talk to Carolyn. I'm going to go talk to Jaden. She's down in the pottery room. I'm just using your names. So she is now accepted where she's at, and she's actually communicating with these, you know, other elderly people in there. I'll just stop using elderly. I'll say new family members, because that's kind of what it is. You've moved in with new family. And if we stop putting color and other requirements on the name of that person and just call them family, it melts away all the foolishness. The transition is easier. Trust me, when you go to college, Jaden will tell you, it's a trip. certain things don't, it's not like home no more. It's not like, you know, you leave something out, it may not be there. At home, you could leave something out on your desk and it'd be there when you come back. Not saying that people steal, but you know, it is a truth. It is something. You cannot be naive. Okay? And life is like that. You will be comfortable, you'll get comfortable, and people will take advantage of you every time. Stay smart. All right. Any other questions? I'm gonna jump off. I gotta start the class. If not, we can open up and say good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Mr. Lewis,
Mhm.
you said you had a question for me before
Yes.
the call?
I do. Let me stop because we don't need to record this.